Hey guys, so today I'm filming an update for my Pan That palette. Yeah, so I've been a little MIA lately, and I'm sorry. I know I was like hitting it hard in January and part of February, and then I just disappeared. But I had like a little procedure done, and it wasn't supposed to have any recovery time really. And then it ended up having like a whole week of recovery time, which I wasn't anticipating. And then, yeah, it was a, if you're curious, it was just a cystoscopy. If you know what that is. If you don't, feel free to Google it. But yeah, it was just a camera looking around on my insides. I guess it bothers some people more than others. So I ended up needing like a week to recover. I had really severe like cramping going on, and it was pretty awful. And then I just needed to get my life back together and catch up on all of the things I was kind of putting off in January, where I was really hitting it hard for YouTube. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys. I want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I'm so excited. I've been reaching out to some of you guys that I subscribed to during the big subscriber rush. I've met so many more awesome people. I'm starting to reach out to some of those channels and get in touch with some of those people because I felt like, you know, I really do want to get to know you and your channels. So if I'm new to your channel, I'm sure I'll be stopping by very shortly. Anyway, so just, yeah, thank you guys so much, and let's get to the review. This is my Makeup Forever Artist Shadows 1. I still love this palette. It's really, I started out in this journey and I was like, I don't even know if I like this palette. I think I might just declutter it. And then I started using it and I was like, oh, I do like this palette, and I'm really enjoying the fact that it's all neutral shades. I didn't think I would like that, but I felt like it came at a good time. I took a break from color, and I'm still using a ton of color, but anyways, it is a nice little break. The shadows are going pretty quickly, as you can see. Maybe I have pan here and pan here. I've been using this black regularly too. This black's really cool. It's kind of like a transformer shade. So you can make it black, but you can also, like, I use it a lot with this purple shade in the other palette, and it also just makes a nice really deep purple. So the really cool black. I love these shades. They're all sort of like that. You can mix them all together and just create totally different shades. I think it takes a little bit of practice with the shadows themselves because it's not something you want to try when you're in a hurry on your way to work. I would say that, because it can kind of make a little bit of a mess until you kind of get the feel for what you need to do. So, yeah, I'm still really happy with these. I swatched these last time for you guys, and that is something I will say. If you have Makeup Forever shadows, swatch them as little as possible. Every time you swatch them, it kind of presses them back down into their pan and makes them hard to pick up again. I don't know if you can tell. Let's see. Let's get in really close. But see how it gets this sort of gritty texture to it? That's the preferred texture, because once it has that texture, you can really pick these up really easily with your brush. I don't think, maybe in the other palette when I show you, some of those have been swatched and not used a lot, and you can kind of see how flat and pressed they get. This one has a little bit of that. See how it gets this flat texture to it? It gets a little bit harder when it looks like that. They're a little bit harder to pick up. But if you just keep working it, that goes away within 1 or 2 uses, and you're back in business. So that is something to note about these shadows. I wouldn't swatch them a lot. Sometimes I swatch shadows just to, like, if I'm doing an eye look, I'm like, what's this one look like? You know what I mean? And I'll swatch it real fast and kind of get an idea. So I try to avoid doing that. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but it's just something to note, I guess. Still loving these shadows. Yeah, I'm really surprised at how fast pan is happening. I mean, there's some pretty good wear across that. Yeah, I've been using this one as a highlight. I use this one mostly as a crease shade, outer third. Pretty simple looks with those, but I enjoy it. I probably won't do before and afters on these other two because I haven't used them that much. I just really haven't been... I took 2 weeks off from this and reviewed the Juvia's Place palettes that I purchased. So for 2 whole weeks I was focusing on those, and then when I came back to these, these colors haven't really been speaking to me as colors that I want to use. I've been using the purple. This blue I don't think is really that good, and it might just end up getting decluttered. Out of all the shadows that I've used in all of these palettes, it's the only one that creases on me. And it's creased on me before when I've reached for it, so I don't love this blue. I like this one. I like this one, but I just haven't been in the mood for it. I really do like this purple. That purple is really, really pretty. So I've been enjoying that. These guys are basically dupes for what's in the other palette. These guys are just more neutrals. I have my other palette for that, so I just really haven't felt like reaching for this one. I would like to make some progress in it before the end of the year, though. So I don't necessarily need to, I don't feel like I need to pan this one, but I do want to make some progress, and I'm sure that I will. So anyway, so there's that one. This other guy, I haven't been using at all either. I've used this guy a couple times, and that's really it. I love this color, I just haven't been using it. I've used it a few times throughout the whole year so far, and I do really, really love it, but I just haven't been reaching for it. So yeah, these, again, I have these 3 palettes here. The first palette that I showed you is the palette. I need that one to be completely panned by the end of the year. That one's the oldest one. Then this guy, I would like to have a lot of progress in by the end of the year. Lots and lots of pan. That might be a little ambitious, but I'd like to see lots of pan in there. And then this guy, I don't really care. It's just kind of in the project because honestly, I thought I would miss my matte shadows. So far, I have not. So we shall see what happens. Anyways, that was my update for my Pan That palette. As always, let me know down below. Let me know if you have a channel too. I feel like so many people are afraid to be like, I have a channel, check it, will you check it out? Dude, I totally do not care. What I have found is that it's extremely hard to find other small YouTubers unless you tell me. Yeah, so that's all for today, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.